I want to come and talk to you guys today about a series that I'm going to be starting actually today. I actually announced it a few days ago. And we're going to be actually going over this book called The 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, a book written by Steve Siebold, where he talks about what are some of the things that the world class performers do or think, or the way that they kind of set themselves apart from everybody else, and that's why they're top performers versus not being one of them. So we're gonna be reading the entire chapter. It's one chapter a day, or rather each page is a chapter, so I'm gonna be reading one chapter every time that I post. And then I'm gonna be kind of going a little bit into detail on this. You might be seeing a short when you see this video, or a small clip. If you happen to see that, make sure you go to our YouTube channel so that you can go over the entire of the information that we're gonna be covering. So I'm gonna be reading from here. You guys kind of stick around and let's see. So the Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class says that the world class operates from objective reality. Now, in 30 years of competing, coaching, and working with performers from various fields, I've discovered most amateurs suffer from mild to severe delusion in relation to their efforts and competencies. Wow. In other words, most people delude themselves into thinking they are working harder than they are, and that they are more competent than they actually are. Of the 5 major levels of consciousness, of poverty, working, middle, upper, and world class, my experience has been that performers at the middle class level of consciousness suffer from the grandest delusion. The poverty level is barely surviving. The working class is punching a mental time clock and counting the days until retirement. They're usually not expecting much, and no one around them expects much either. They are typically not concerned about climbing any higher. It's the middle class, so this is the working class. The middle class is the one that is most incongruent with reality. They are operating at a high enough level to understand that higher level exists, although they don't expect to get there. The thought crosses their mind from time to time. Because of their low expectation, their actions are incongruent with their desires. In other words, they want to live the life of the world class, but are unwilling to pay the price. Since this reality is too harsh to bear, they delude themselves into thinking they are doing everything in their power to get ahead. Of course, they're not. They'll tell you they're putting in far more time than they are. They'll swear they are thinking about their vision all the time, but they're not. The world class is brutally honest with themselves, and they tend to look reality in the face. They err on the side of over-practicing and over-preparing. Champions know that to ascend to the top, you must first be operating from a mindset of objective reality. Self-deception and delusion have no place in the professional performer's consciousness. And then the quote says, amateur performers operate from delusion, pros operate from objective reality. The great ones' habits, actions, and behaviors are congruent with the size and scope of their ultimate vision. That's why we call them champions. Steve Siebold. Guys, this is a very interesting chapter to digest, and it's the very first one because it talks about what is the problem, or not problem, but where most people's head is at. See, most people's head is kind of like in the clouds, where if you're poor, you kind of just gave up and you say, okay, I'm poor, I'm always going to be poor, and that's that. If you're a working class, punching in, punching out, you're just trying to pay your bills and make it to retirement alive. Middle class, that's when you are very aware of what's going on around you. You maybe have friends that make good money, that they are achieving great things in the world, and you know that there's a different level. You're just not willing to work as hard or pay the price as the world class people are doing. And he's talking about the upper class, meaning that they're right there, and they prepare and over practice, but they don't quite make it to world class. But they're like, if we're talking about the 5%, right? And then the 1% out of the 5% is the one that are the upper class, are those 5%ers. And then you got the 1%, which is the rate of the structure of performance, for lack of a better term. And so they're telling you that there's a huge difference between the way that people see things. As a matter of fact, there's this table over here. We're gonna go over it real quick, but it tells you what are the classes, or the difference between one class and the other. says here that the middle class versus the world class thinking goes like this. The middle class competes, the world class creates. The middle class avoids risk, the world class manages risk. The middle class lives in delusion, world class lives in objective reality. Middle class loves to be comfortable. World class is comfortable being uncomfortable. The middle class have a lottery mentality. World class has a abundant mentality. The middle class hungers for security. The world class doesn't believe that security exists. Middle class sacrifice growth for safety. World class sacrifice safety for growth. Middle class operates from fear and scarcity. World class operates from love and abundance. Middle class focus on having. World class focuses on being. Middle class see themselves as victims. World class see themselves as responsible. Middle class slows down. World class calms down. Middle class is frustrated. The world class is grateful. Middle class have pipe dreams. The world class has vision. The middle class is ego driven. The world class is spirit driven. The middle class is problem oriented. The world class is solution oriented. The middle class thinks they know enough. The world class is eager to learn. The middle class chooses fear. The world class chooses growth. The middle class is boastful. The world class is humble. The middle class trades time for money. World class trades ideas for money. And it goes on and on. I'm not going to read all of them, guys. But look, the one thing that we have to get out of this particular chapter is there's a big difference between the people that stay in the middle class and those that achieve great things in the world. And the question you have to ask yourself is, where do you want to be? And let me tell you one thing. If you find yourself like I did, and I still do at this point, saying, well, I have some qualities of the world class and some qualities of the middle class, what you have to do is you have to strive to get closer to the world class always, so that you completely get out of the middle class. Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck in this vicious cycle of repeating life over and over again, clocking in, clocking out, and nothing seems to happen for you. So what will make the middle class and the world class different, and how do you become world class? By starting to take action on the things that the world class people take actions on. You gotta go out there, you gotta create different habits, develop different routines, and that's going to allow you to get to a point where you really achieve world class level. Biggest difference, by the way, between the two, as it says here, it's the mindset. It's how they see the world. The middle class is used to seeing the world as the place that it's trying to put them down or put them out of work or take things away from them. Or they're always hoping that this one thing is going to change my life forever. The world class understands that if they are going to become world class, it's up to them to work on their habits, their mindset, the things that they're doing. And that's what makes them world class. I'm not world class yet, I will tell you that much. Now, I read this not just for you, but I read this for me. Recently, I went through a patch and I'm like, okay, I'm in this funk and I need to get out of it. And the best way for me to always do that is going back to books, picking up a book, reading, getting better, and understanding that, yes, if other people went through the same crap that I'm going through and they still made it, it's very possible for me too. And guess what? It's very possible for you. Hope this helped, guys, and we'll see you guys next episode or next video, where we're going to be talking about the second secret of the world class, which is called world class wealth begins with world class thinking. I'm going to be talking about that next time. And here's the action for today. I'll leave you guys with the action for today. The action step says, make a commitment to check delusion at the door. Be honest and ask this critical thinking question. Are my habits, actions, and behaviors congruent with the vision I have for my life? If they're not, let's start working on changing them. See you guys in the next one. Take care.